The season is beginning to change. My garden has grown over the last several weeks, begging to be harvested. Many of the plants have already lived through their full cycle, and now I've been preparing for the fall season, clearing out the old to make room for the new. The days have been very hot and humid, yet the mornings are staying dark a little longer. It's a time of transition, where it feels like summer wants to hang on a little while longer, so its heat intensifies, just to remind us that it's still here. But I can feel the change in energy is coming. Fall is around the corner, so it's time to start planning my fall garden. We recently added a couple new hens to our flock. Our rooster had been favoring two of our hens, leaving bald spots on their backs.
Hi, ladies.
So we knew it was time to add a couple more, in hopes that it would give the hens a bit of relief. When adding new chickens, it's best to slowly integrate them into the flock, to make sure that you're not spreading disease, but also to make it as less stressful as possible on the chickens. They need time to adjust and redefine the pecking order. And sometimes that can be aggressive and bloody. We wanted to avoid severe injuries as much as possible, so we kept the new hens in a temporary crate near the coop for about a week. We had a portable electric fence that we set up around it to keep predators away at night. Then we started to let them roam freely with the rest of the flock during the day, and eventually they felt right at home.
This is what I kind of put together. Luckily, I had a old dog crate, and so it's working. But as you can see, there's only one hen in there. Because the other one, within literally minutes after these two girls got dropped off, I went to go open the crate door just a teensy bit to put my hand in there to drop some blueberries, to try and calm them down a little bit more. And one of them freaked out, squished through the little opening of the door, the crack on that door, and just took off. And the rooster saw her, came running across from the other side of the property, and of course chased her into the woods. And so now that hen is in the woods somewhere. I of course was freaking out because I don't like the thought of losing a chicken that just got here. And now she is in there. I don't know if you guys could see her right there. There she is. She's exploring in there right now. So now that I know she's safe, I feel so much better. And now I'm just going to let her stay there where I know she can just relax, get more comfortable with the coop anyway. And then I'll have to go in and see if I can try and get a hold of her to put her back into the other crate without the other chicken racing out. So it's gonna be a little bit of a delicate dance, but we're gonna try this later when I have the assistance of my husband, so that maybe between the both of us, we can make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Chickens were the first farm animals we brought onto our homestead. We had never raised chickens before, but like anything else, you do your research and learn as you go along. It's not always the easiest job, caring for animals on the farm, but the love and joy they add to our home is worth every moment. And the added value of using their manure in the compost for the garden is another advantage. Some of you know from my prior videos that we have certainly had our ups and downs with water on our land. We didn't realize when we moved in that some of the land experienced great flooding. Some of that flooding was from our neighbor's pond overflow, and the other was from our storm drain not having a proper channel to flow through. So the water from both was dumping into our pasture, creating very marshy conditions. Earlier this spring, we expanded our creek and created 2 new channels to help this water flow much easier and reduce the amount of flooding in this area, which has helped. The other issue we were still experiencing during heavy rainfall was the other side of our storm drain, coming from across the street and flowing over our driveway, washing away the gravel. We had to repair our driveway several times within the past year as a result of this, so we knew it was time to address this problem as well. The same excavator we used for our pasture helped us straighten and expand the channel for that side of our storm drain and built up a wall using heavy concrete to help fortify it and keep the water from flowing over our driveway. Hopefully this solution will work. It has been so busy on the homestead with the garden and caring for the animals that I forget to take the time to slow down and simply enjoy the end of summer. That's one of the things that got me through some really tough times in my life. just being out in nature. Every morning, I would wake up early and drive to the nearest trail and walk. There was something so peaceful about being in the woods, being among the trees. Sometimes I'd stop and just sit, watch and listen, or sit there with my eyes closed and let myself feel and just be. This is where I knew I could release whatever it was I had been holding on to, the heaviness of the days I had been living. I could feel all of my pain just melt away, even for just those moments, and it felt so good. This is when I began to have a deeper connection with nature. It's almost as though there was a newfound understanding between us, one that felt pure and safe. I came to rely on Mother Nature for comfort, especially in the darkest of days. And I now know that when I feel overwhelmed by what's going on in my life or in the world, taking a walk in the woods or in the mountains is where I can go to find relief, to recenter myself, to cry it out, or be reminded that I am part of something bigger. And when you're out in it, surrounded by its pure and organic beauty, you remember that there is beauty in the world, and that beauty exists within you too, and within one another, even at times when it feels non-existent. Nature has a magical way of bringing you back to yourself, and back to love.